Depression. I answered the question. You all can leave now. Hi, it's Nikki and Happy New Year! It's been a while. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi. I like to journal while I yap about anime, and if you like that, consider subscribing. Yeah, I cannot used to saying that, but yeah, subscribe if you want to. Anyway, today I'll be talking about Alien Stage while I journal about Mizi and Sua. So, what the fuck is Alien Stage, you might ask? Is it an anime? A Korean anime? A manhwa? It's none of those. I was genuinely confused when I first tried to check it out because all I could find were anime-style music videos on YouTube. I really thought I was getting into a full Korean anime, but nah. Like, at first glance, there's nothing else. But obviously, once I dug a little deeper, I realized there's a much bigger story being told with the visuals and the lyrics of each song. It also has a mini comic series, and it gave me strong BTS vibes, you know, like back when I was into BTS. They had this whole interconnected story hidden in their music videos, and fans were constantly dissecting everything to understand the lore. Great times, honestly. I'm no longer a BTS fan, by the way. Anyway, yeah, they even released a webtoon called Save Me to expand on that story, and that's pretty much what Alien Stage is doing as well. Using music videos as the main storytelling medium, with mini webcomics released as extensions of the story. What still surprises me is how Alien Stage got so popular when, again, the main content is just YouTube music videos. From what I've researched, it's classified as a web series, which makes sense, but it's one that relies heavily on music to tell its story. Part of its popularity probably comes from the fact that it features a lot of queer characters, has a very depressing narrative, and it was also released at a time when non-Japanese anime media was really starting to gain traction. It feels like a mix of K-pop and anime, which are two things that I personally consume a lot, so it's just a great mix for me. I didn't think I'd get invested in a story told this way, and yet here I am, making a whole spread about it, and a whole script which took me months to finish. So, if you're looking for episodes of Alien Stage, stop. This is not an anime. If you want to get into it, all you have to do is search Alien Stage on YouTube. There's a playlist with all the main music videos there. Watch them and boom, that's the main story. Congratulations, you're depressed. Now, for the comics, they're on their Patreon. Are they mandatory? Not necessarily. You get the full story just from the music videos. However, if you want extra pain, deeper character lore, more context, and emotional damage, then yes, read the comics. They flesh out the characters a lot, which I fucking love. Especially since people who haven't read the comics are shitting on my girl Mizi, like, come on, read the damn comics. They also have exclusive Patreon content, which I unfortunately cannot afford because I'm broke. But anyway, I'll link everything in the description so you don't have to suffer like I did. You're welcome. And listen, this script took research. I do not normally research. I usually just yap my thoughts out and hope for the best. But Alien Stage is so confusing and so layered and so complex that I had to reread and watch everything just to make sure I wasn't straight up lying to y'all. I also read other people's interpretations, which was interesting to say the least. They even have interview style content on their Patreon as well that I haven't gotten through yet. They post lore on Twitter too, songs tied to each character that don't directly affect the plot but add a lot of context through the lyrics. So yeah, as you can probably tell, there's a lot of material. So most of what I'm talking about comes from the music videos, comics, plus general interpretations I've seen online. We're basically just uncovering new shit together at this point. What can I say? Now that's out of the way, let's talk about the story. More accurately, the lore. I don't know if you guys understand the reference, but like, I'm like referencing MatPat from game theory. Anyway, moving on. Aliens have taken over and enslaved humanity. And by enslaved, I mean keeping them as literal pets. Some aliens like to send their human pets at a young age to train and eventually take part in Alien Stage, a singing competition where if you lose, you die. The worst part? You've turned alongside these people for years. They're your friends, sometimes even your lovers. So you're forced to watch someone you grew up with die. The story mainly follows Mizi, Sua, Ivan, and Till, as well as Luca and Huna. Mizi and Sua are girlfriends who are tragically forced to compete against each other. Ivan and Till have a complicated relationship, but they clearly care deeply about each other. And unfortunately, one of them still has to die. Huna and Luca also have a thing, though Luca is kind of a bitch. So yeah, very wholesome. We've got gays, lesbians, bisexuals, and yes, even straight people. Very inclusive, I know. And that's basically the plot. Anyway, from here on out, I'll spoil the shit out of Alien Stage, so if you haven't watched the music videos yet, go do that first. You'll probably finish them in one sitting, so yeah, go ahead, leave. Round 1 was wild. It's our first introduction to the story, and they immediately hit us with then doomed, Yuri. That actually goes doom, like, immediately. When I first watched Alien Stage, I was genuinely shocked by how on your face the gay shit was. Even though Round 6 and Karma fully confirm it later, I went in expecting the usual queer-coded, it's just subtext bullshit, but no, I was so wrong, and I'm so glad. Whether or not Mizi and Sua are explicitly labeled as a queer couple in round 1, it's obvious they're singing with each other and not against each other. They're completely in their own world, like they've forgotten one of them is about to die. That alone had me screaming lesbians at the top of my lungs. It's honestly so funny that some people watched the same video and went, oh, they're just best friends. Like, what? Did we watch the same video? If they were two dudes, people would have shipped them immediately. This is exactly why we clearly stating a queer couples in stories actually matters, you know? The lyrics make it even more obvious. Like, Sua sings about Mizi being her god and universe, and Mizi feels the same. They found hope in each other in a world full of misery, you know, like hope bloomed from the abyss, and Sua dies, and then the lyrics flip to hope withered in the abyss, and that contrast destroys me. They were each other's hope, and that hope literally died in front of Mizi. My poor lesbians. I also love how the first music video sets up the world they're in. Like, humans once believed in a god in the sky, but the only thing that came down were the fucking aliens, and all that faith just vanished. So the only way to stay human is to cling to hope, and that's exactly what Mizi and Sua did. They have faith only in each other because they are each other's god and universe. Okay, I'll shut up now. What the fuck? Alien Stage even explores different kinds of romantic relationships and dynamics, which we rarely get. This isn't a sunshine and rainbow story, it's a dystopia. Of course, love is fucked up here, especially when you're literally forced to compete against your own partner. The contrast between Mizi Sua and Ivan Till is insane, and I love it. It's perfectly depicted in the Karma music video too. Mizi and Sua gently connecting crystal hearts with their mouths, versus Ivan literally forcing his heart into Till so hard it fucking bursts. And then there's Luca and Huna. Yeah, anyway. Mutual love versus obsessive one-sided devotion, basically. So yeah, Till just doesn't reciprocate. And Luca is an actual bitch. I mean a pet. I'm probably pissing off a lot of Luca fans right now. And yes, I'll talk about Ivan Till. Just let me yap about my favorite lesbians for a bit. Let's talk about Mizi first, because some people act like she's this evil manipulator who uses everyone to get what she wants, and like, y'all, she's just trying to survive. Yes, Mizi enters the competition wanting to crush someone because she's been crushed her entire life. What? Okay, Mizi, not helping our case here. And yes, Sua does die because of that, not because Mizi wanted her to. Mizi is just a girl trying to stay alive in a fucked up system, okay? So yeah, I went back and reread My Fragile God, a chapter from the webcomic, and for a second I was like, oh shit, is she actually manipulating people? But no, I've thought this through way too much for that to be true. Mizi does enter the competition wanting power, to feel superior, to reclaim what was taken from her by her alien owners. And even though her owners were nice, quote unquote, they still never treated her like a real human being. She was still a pet, a toy. At first, it looks like Mizi does the same thing to Sua, calling her adorable, but look at her face. Come on, she's miserable. She knows Sua's plan. She wishes there was another way. Is it a shitty situation they're in? Yeah, but here's the thing. Sua loved Mizi so much, she couldn't live with herself if Mizi died. So she literally trained herself to lose. And Mizi knew that. Letting Sua go through with it doesn't mean she loved her any less. It means she loved her enough to respect her choice. Maybe I wasn't as desperate for her. My love is different from yours, but it was still love too. It's literally one of my favorite lines in the story, period. Mizi realizes survival means nothing if everyone she loves is dead. Her breakdown after Till, quote unquote, dies, followed by her going, nah, fuck this, and sabotaging humanity's so-called chance at freedom is insane. And honestly, after reading the webcomic, she's so valid for that. Like, what do you mean that Rocken was only going to send a message when they could have saved actual lives? Be for real, bro. Of course she chose revenge, and that stupid ass rocket still killed some aliens after she sabotaged it. Like, come on, give her some credit. Huna, respectfully, you're the selfish one. We've already lost everything, so it's easy for you to gamble lives for a better future. Mizi wouldn't lose anything in the process, right, Huna? It's not like you could have literally saved Till and Van, right, Huna? Sorry, Huna, I love you, I swear. There's also this chapter where a guy confesses to Mizi and she goes, that's kinda gross. And I was cheering like, let's go, rise up lesbians, fuck the male population. But on my reread, it's not just about liking girls. This dude tells her females and males are meant to end up mating. Like, excuse me? That's deranged. Of course she was grossed out. And then he can't handle rejection, slaps her and starts insulting her. Depressingly realistic. She says no and he assaults her. Great stuff, right? Right after that, that, there's this scene where Mizi slaps Sua, which confused me for so long, until I realized it's because Sua tells her, "You have it easy." The exact same shit that creepy dude said to her. Mizi hates being reduced to her looks. That goes all the way back to her childhood, you know, where her owners only saw her as a cute pet and never took her seriously. She knows she has pretty privilege and she despises it. She even asks Till why he likes her so much when all she wanted from him was their friendship. She hates the idea that her survival is tied to her appearance. Like she somehow manipulated Sua into loving her so she'd die for her. No, she's just trying to survive, bro. Like she's just a girl. Okay, wait, no, that's the wrong sentence. She's just trying to survive. And the fact that Mizi starts believing that narrative herself, that's just survivor's guilt. So no, Mizi is not the villain people want her to be. I rest my case. Sua is also a phenomenal character, very devoted to her girlfriend, which I respect. You can clearly see how terrified she was of dying in round 1, but she still chose to sacrifice herself for Mizi. But Sua is more than just her romantic feelings for Mizi. I know it's a crazy statement if you've only watched the music videos, but hear me out. She has a sister. Maybe multiple, but only one fucked her up enough that Sua ends up emotionally depending on Mizi for everything. Like, her sister was the queen of passive-aggressive bullshit, constantly belittling her with a smile on her face. I didn't get why she treated her little sister like that, but some people interpret it as her trying to protect Sua from the real world in the most fucked up way possible, but all it did was make Sua insecure, scared, and deeply jealous. So when she finally meets someone with zero malicious intent, Mizi, she clings hard. There's a comic where Sua realizes just how fucked up her sister actually was. Her sister would call her pitiful while smiling, and as Sua grew up, she realized her sister was the pitiful one, constantly tearing someone else down, specifically Sua. Mic drop. And yet, she still chose to fucking die. Although I do have to point out that sacrificing yourself for your loved one is also toxic. Like, I get how people may see it as a very honorable way of loving, but come on, Mizi is sad now. As I said earlier, if you only watched the music videos, you're probably confused, and that's fair. Sua barely appears, and when she does, she's usually haunting Mizi as an imaginary ghost. I had to dig deep as fuck to find her lore. Turns out she excels academically as well and absolutely hates Ivan and Till. She hates Ivan because he teases her a lot, you know, or just talks to her, and she just doesn't like it when he talks to her, you know. Like, she's antisocial as hell, and I love it. And she hates Till because he's close to Mizi, and I'm convinced she can sense he has feelings for her. In short, she's the jealous type. Honestly, more like misosexual than anything, you know, Mizi-sexual. I really believe that if they weren't trapped in this fucked up system, Sua wouldn't be this dependent on Mizi or have this mindset of like, I need to sacrifice myself for her. We literally see that in the Karma music video. Like, imagine your story being so tragic, the creator has to drop an AU where the aliens never invaded just so everyone can breathe. And that's so funny. And also such a dick move, baby, when I fucking catch you. Some of y'all are genuinely stupid for thinking that the Ivan Till scene in Karma was SA. It's obviously metaphorical. Ivan's love is so overwhelming, it literally manifests as his heart bursting into Till's mouth. It's not meant to be literal assault. That being said though, yes, Ivan does assault Till in other ways, and we'll get into that. You could argue the kiss during the singing competition was forced, but I read it as Ivan knowing he was about to sacrifice himself and wanting Till to finally understand the depth of his feelings before he died. Love, obsession, whatever you wanna fucking call it. The kiss was dramatic because Ivan is a dramatic sassy bitch, and that is completely on brand. The choking though, that confused the fuck out of me. Like, why? Was the choking on his bucket list next to kissing Till? Kinky king, I guess? Go off? Then I saw an interpretation saying Ivan was protecting Till's neck from being shot. I'm not fully sold. But I've also seen another interpretation that makes way more sense to me. So basically, Till was absolutely not in the mental state to perform, especially since Sua just died. Mizi was missing. Mizi was missing. And now he was forced to sing against Ivan, someone he deeply cared about. And Ivan saw how destroyed Till was and intentionally sabotaged the performance by kissing and choking him, making it look like he was preventing Till from singing. And you know, cheating gets you disqualified. So Ivan loses on purpose to save Till. And that interpretation goes so hard, and I'm sticking with it. Also, two things can be true at once. Like, Ivan absolutely wanted to kiss him out of lust too. That was probably his first and last kiss. Bro is probably kicking his feet in heaven or something, or in hell. Anyway, moving on. Ivan is a massive fucking tsundere. I'm not gonna explain what the fuck tsundere is. Look it up on Google. It's actually pretty simple. Ivan was terrified of fully loving Till. In their world, love was pointless. They didn't even have the concept of family. So instead of dealing with his feelings like a normal human being, he bullied the shit out of Till. And he didn't matter anyway because Till realized all of this 3 years too late. Despite everything, they genuinely cared about each other. Till's love may have been platonic, unlike Ivan's, but it was still real, and now Till is left mourning him. I don't think Till hates Ivan for loving him. If anything, that love probably comforts him, even though he can't reciprocate, and that's completely understandable, cause Ivan literally beat the shit out of Till out of love, like, hello? Unless deviation is your king, no one's falling for that, Ivan. And let's be real, Till was so down bad for Mizi, he did not have time for Ivan's unhinged flirting. After the rebels invasion, karma happens. Huna dies, Till dies, Mizi goes berserk, and sabotages everything. But plot twist, Till survived. Except now he's haunted by Ivan's spirit, which is obviously just his imagination, because, you know, unresolved feelings plus death equals brain ghost or something. With the amount of trauma Till went through, of course a few screws are loose up there. What's wild is that even imaginary Ivan keeps bullying him. Like, damn, let the man rest. Now that I think about it, considering imaginary Ivan is literally in Till's own mind, maybe Till does have a degrading kink. Okay, I'm digressing. 3 years later, Till finally understands that Ivan was just a tsundere, that he misses him and that he wishes he hadn't avoided him for so long. Also, can we talk about Till's long hair in that chapter? It was so cool. But who the fuck shot him? What the fuck? Anyway, moving on. When Till tells imaginary Ivan that he's older now, I actually fucking cried. That line makes it painfully clear that Ivan is dead, y'all. Stop being delusional. But yeah, that chapter was insanely well written. Imaginary Ivan disappears and Till resolves those feelings because the ghost was just loneliness and grief refusing to let go. In the end, Till hugs Ivan, low-key reciprocating 3 years too late. Take a shot every time I say 3 years too late. What the fuck? But yeah, I don't think Till ever realized he loved Ivan romantically, but he finally understood and accepted Ivan's love, even if Ivan expressed it in the worst way possible. Also, according to the YouTube comments, which surprisingly cook sometimes, Ivan set up that anak garden alien incident just to watch Till protect Mizi and see his reactions. It's in one of the music videos, I don't remember which one, but yeah. He may look composed, but he's actually batshit insane. He would steal Till's stuff just to return it like he's found it so he could get praised. We literally see him beat the shit out of Till just to get his attention. Like, I was surprised. Ivan loved Till knowing full well it would never be reciprocated, and he was fascinated by him and craved his attention anyway, and that's why when they escaped from Anak Garden hurts so much. Ivan fears Till after that incident he set up with the alien, and they almost get out together. Till is happy until he remembers Mizi. Freedom is right there and he still turns back, and Ivan knew he would. What's fucked up is that Ivan almost seems happy about it, like he admires Till's devotion, even when that devotion isn't for him. And just like Till couldn't leave Mizi behind, Ivan couldn't leave Till. Unrequited love, one-sided, obsessive, self-destructive love. Ivan Till in a nutshell. Anyway, let's talk about Till now. We finally meet Till in round 2, where he absolutely demolishes his opponent. He barely gave him a chance to sing, which is wild. One theory people throw around is that Till learned the lyrics his opponent was supposed to sing, and since his opponent didn't know Till's lyrics, he couldn't perform, and that would explain like the silent parts in the song. But honestly, I like this theory way more. So basically, Till just sang his own fucking song like a badass, and there's a lot of proof too. A different song plays at the beginning of the music video. He brings an instrument while his opponent didn't have one. Why would he do that unless it was his song he could perform? There are clips of him writing the song as well, and even drawing Mizi on the sheet music like a fucking crepe. And the biggest proof, he wrote a song confessing his feelings to Mizi and then sang it while she was traumatized over her dead girlfriend, with Ivan, his side bitch, probably listening. Like, Till, no, not the time nor the place. Anyway, Alien Stage is also very obviously a critique of the idol industry. Like, it's an idol survival show, it's in Korean, and the parallels are insane. Real idols go through brutal training, not just in singing and dancing, but in how they present themselves. Fans like to shove them into these neat little boxes, like, this is the funny one, this is the cute one, and this is the bad boy one. Like, you know, like those archetypes, you know, like they're not real people with depth. And Till is the perfect example. The aliens, even us as the audience, see him as this rebellious bad boy with anger issues, and the aliens love that shit, cause drama sells, right? But in reality, he's just angry at the aliens, and the hypocrisy is crazy. The aliens are horrified when Till smashes his guitar, which by the way was apparently a low-grade alien, but anyway. But they cheer when humans literally die on stage. Like, make it make sense. What kills me is that Teal is probably the most compassionate and sweetest character in the entire cast. The complete opposite of his public persona. And it makes sense, you know, like he's the only one who grew up with a genuinely loving human mother. In this universe, parents are basically just providers, but Teal's mom actually loved him. She cared about him, wanted the best for him, and loved him unconditionally. Even though they didn't have much time together, that love stayed with Teal. Like, look at how he loves. He had a crush on Mizi, and he knew she and Sua were together and didn't push it. You know, like being friends to him was enough. When Ivan escaped, Teal stayed behind because he didn't want to abandon Mizi. His love is selfless, and even when it hurts. And that same unconditional love is carried on as a literal hero in the Rebels. His interactions with Huna's old friends and kids are just so adorable, I'm gonna cry. But yeah, I personally think Teal loved Ivan platonically, though I still believe he's bisexual because, you know, I'm bi, so yeah, I'm maybe biased. He's an artist too, like music and drawing. Like, this man is doing everything. He's literally so me. I love him. Well, not the music part, but the bi and drawing part. Now, Ivan, baby, you're obsessed. You need to move on. What the fuck is this addiction you have with Teal? Calm your dick down, please. I keep saying he needs to move on, but honestly, he never even got the chance to properly get rejected. Also, he's dead. I don't think dead people can move on. But how the fuck do you expect Teal to reciprocate your feelings when all you do is bully him? Bro has mastered the art of mixed signals. He's a sassy ass tsundere, and I hate how much I love it. At first, I didn't pay much attention to Ivan. Like, I thought he was just a weird, pathetic simp, and I mean, he still is. But after everything, including the comics, I can confidently say that every Alien Stage character is layered as hell. This story thrives on fucked up, complex people, and I eat that shit up like crazy. Ivan has a completely warped perception of love. To him, attention is attention, even if it's violent, unhealthy, or hurting the other person. Teal was clearly suffering because of this, but Ivan still enjoyed it because at least Teal was looking at him. The contrast between Ivan and Teal is what really gets me. Like, Teal knows what real love looks like, but Ivan doesn't. As Ivan grew older, he started regretting that he never got to just be proper friends with Teal. And honestly, I don't blame him. He never really learned what healthy love was. Teal did, so of course he kept his distance. Who wouldn't? Ivan was literally beating him up to feel acknowledged. But even Teal, way too late, realized that what Ivan actually wanted wasn't dominance or control. He just wanted connection. At the very least, Teal's friendship. And don't get me started on those comments. Like, I've seen a bunch of comments saying like, oh, the ability to love like Ivan, the ability to be loved like Teal. Bitch, Teal was getting his ass beaten by Ivan. What are you talking about? Okay, I keep calling him Ivan, but I'm pretty sure it's Ivan. I don't know why I've been calling him Ivan. It's Ivan. Ivan. Anyway, we get introduced to him in round 3, where the score is literally 68 to 90. Diabolical fucking word. I always believed Ivan genuinely loved music and wasn't just forced into it by the aliens, and I'm proud to say I was right. One of his interviews basically confirms it. There's like interview style texts that on their Patreon, go look for it because I don't remember what exactly the interviewer asked. Okay, there's so much content, my brain is about to blow up. Even in the Karma music video during the AU scene, he literally wears headphones. So yeah, I do like Ivan. I really do. As I said, I didn't really care about him at first, and that changed. But the amount of glazing he gets is insane. Let's be serious now. He's not that great. Imagine beating up your crush and calling it love. Bro only showed affection when Teal was knocked out. Like, nah bro, seek help. I had no fucking idea why Huna and Luca had beef until I actually paid attention to the details in each music video. Bro, Luca killed Huna's brother. Yeah, no shit, Chispis. Even though Alien Stage is just a series of music videos, the amount of lore packed into them is insane. But only if you actually pay attention. I missed so many crucial details even after rewatching them. I literally found out through a random YouTube comment that Luca had won multiple Alien Stages before and is actually older than everyone else. He's not even a childhood friend to any of the gays. He only grew up with Huna and Hyunwoo, okay? And that's literally shown in the music videos, and I just didn't pay attention. I'm so disappointed in myself for not realizing that, because we never even see them interact with them in an garden as kids. I feel so stupid. Luca was around way earlier, which means this man has been the cause of so many deaths. He's actually unhinged. And yeah, apparently Luca was conceived through numerous experiences to create the perfect human. No wonder he's fucking insane. He literally killed his own clones just to be the perfect Luca. That's not ambition, that's psychopath behavior. And just like the other two pairs, we've got doomed straight. Yes, Huna and Luca were a thing. During the invasion, a rebel points a gun at Luca for obvious obvious reasons. He might be a victim of the system, but he still caused countless deaths and played along like it's nothing. Luca ignores the gun aimed at his head and turns toward Huna instead, basically daring the rebel to shoot. And he did. And you know who took the shot? Fucking Huna. Girl, why? In her final moments, she kind of forgives him. Not in a you did nothing wrong way, but like she understands that Luca became the bitch that he is because he grew up in a system with no real escape. Where Huna chose to rebel, Luca chose to submit. And I also love that her taking the bullet works as a revenge too, because she knows damn well how obsessed Luca is with her. Congrats, girl. You emotionally ruined him forever. And me, why did you have to die? But still, Luca, you're a bitch. Huna, you're a fucking icon. I love you. So yeah, as you can probably tell, I never really liked Luca. He's a fucking psychopath, but I completely understand why people defend him. Exposed to death and cruelty from childhood and manipulated into alien stage. He's a victim, yeah, but he's just as much of a perpetrator. What the fuck? Perpetrator. I cannot speak. He's just as much of a perpetrator. Yeah, that word. We properly meet Luca in round 5, and this motherfucker is kissing the hand of the person he just defeated. What the actual fuck, bro? Then it's Luca versus Mizi, and he starts playing dirty, provoking her on purpose, and it works. Not that it even mattered, because there was no way Mizi was winning anyway. Luca is insanely popular with the aliens, and according to the YouTube comments, which again I trust, he got the highest score in round 4 in alien stage history. My girl Mizi was not having it. I'm so glad she crashed out and beat his ass, but that smirk at the end tells you everything. He wanted her to lose control, and the fucked up part is that he didn't even need to do it. Luca, Mizi, and everyone watching knew he was going to win regardless. So the way he dances with her, deliberately fucking with her emotions, he's not doing this to survive, he's doing it for fun. And then he pulls the exact same shit with Tail in the next round, impersonating Ivan. Like, what the fuck, Luca? I've never tried to defend your actions, but give me something that won't make me hate you less, bro. That said, Luca's lore is genuinely interesting. I've seen people talk about why his fingers are purple. Apparently, he was experimented on so much, his start stopped multiple times, which fucked up his blood circulation to his hands, and that's actually horrifying. We don't even know exactly why he killed Huna's brother either, Hunwoo. The most common theory is that Hunwoo was protective of Huna. Luca got jealous, pushed him so hard that he hit his head on a rock and killed him instantly. That's such yandere-ass behavior though, Luca, what the fuck? And those snowflakes falling after Hunwoo's death, they're not even snowflakes, they're Hunwoo's ashes, and Luca's just standing there like nothing happened. Like, what the fuck? I genuinely believe that if Luca had been born and raised like a normal kid, he wouldn't have turned out this way. And the karma Ayud backs that up. Huna and Luca are embracing and clearly in a relationship, and Hunwoo is alive. And knowing Huna, she would never be with the guy who killed her brother, because in that universe, it never happened. One last thing before moving on to Huna. You are literally proving Alien Stage's message. The hate shouldn't be aimed at Luca, Mizi, or any of the humans. It should be aimed at the aliens. With that being said, Luca is still a bitch. Huna is easily one of my favorite characters, right up there with Mizi and Tail. We were probably introduced to her in All In, a music video that isn't even sung on Alien Stage. It's sung by Huna, for Huna, and for other humans. That alone is fucking poetic. This song isn't about survival or performance, it's about defiance. My favorite theory is that the aliens created Alien Stage because they're fascinated by human art, music, creativity, emotion, things they probably don't have themselves, so they capitalized on it. They turned suffering into entertainment and forced children to sing for them. Capitalism, but make it intergalactic. But not Huna. She's just singing because she fucking loves it. After Huna helps Mizi escape, they literally go back to Alien Stage, and yeah, they slay. Literally. Also, we need to appreciate Mizi's short hair because it's so cute. Anyway, we're introduced to more rebels too, like Dewey and Isaac, both close friends to Huna. And listen, Dewey? How do you pronounce his name? I don't know, but he's hot and his dimples are so cute. Anyway, I will not elaborate further. All In is pure confidence at its peak. All about taking power back from the aliens. But like every character on Alien Stage, Huna is way more complex than that. That confidence is just armor. Internally, she's a mess. When Huna escaped a nut garden, actually, scratch that, she wasn't escaping. She was trying to go back and save the other kids with one leg. Still though, how did she even get out? And how the fuck did she lose a leg? If anyone knows why or has a theory about it, tell me, please, because I don't know. I love her line in the music video that says, "This is the March of the Fools." It perfectly sums up Huna and the rebels' mindset. They know their dream of freedom is stupid. They know it's probably impossible, but they've tasted freedom. They're happy together and they want that for the other humans too, even if it kills them. And God, I love her for that. That said, no one in the rebellion liked Huna at first, especially Isaac. She drank too much, slacked off, and basically became a burden. The only person who truly understood her was Jacob, the leader of the rebels. Before he died, yes, he died, he told Huna to forgive herself, and that moment is what pushes her to carry on his legacy. Launch the rocket, spread hope, and grow the rebellion. And that's why they call themselves fools, because their dream is massive and almost impossible. And then Mizi joins the rebels. She's obviously not okay. Her girlfriend just died, and now her two closest friends are about to compete against each other. Huna tries to help her cope, mostly by being gay to her, but more importantly, by showing her there's still something worth fighting for. Maybe not, but anyway. Mizi takes that hope and turns it into rage. She grabs a gun, starts shooting, but then Ivan dies, and then Till dies, and she sabotages the mission. Absolute chaos. Ain't that amazing? There's a quote I love that says, to hold on to hope for a day that may never come. Is that survival instinct or selflessness? I don't remember who said it, but it perfectly captures the contrast between Huna and Mizi. Huna believes in baby steps, even if those baby steps cost lives, because the end goal is freeing humanity. Mizi doesn't give a fuck about that. She just wanted to save Ivan and Till. The rebellion's mission wasn't even a rescue mission, it was a way to wake up humanity, to bring hope, and Mizi didn't sign up for that. And honestly, I get her. Even the guards on any stage are human, so what does saving humanity even mean? While I understand Huna's logic, I can't fully side with her. You could have at least saved a few lives, but you know, like both Mizi and Huna are right, and both of them are deeply flawed as well. I love how Mizi points out the parallels between humans and aliens. Like, who are the real aliens really? The rebellion is willing to sacrifice lives for the greater good. But what makes them more deserving of survival than the people they sacrifice? Oh my god, this script is already so fucking long. Why am I still yapping? Oh, my throat is getting dry. Anyway, before I finally stop fucking yapping, I wanna talk about the fandom. Cause isn't it fucking crazy that I went into this thinking Till was gonna be the main character? I barely even knew about Mizi and Sua, and I thought Till and Ivan were like the thing, when there's literally an actual canon official couple who are just as gay. Yeah, lesbians, but I'm using gay as an umbrella term here, don't be annoying. Anyway, what I'm saying is, it's giving misogyny. Round 6, the MV where Ivan kisses Till, has 32 million views on YouTube. Round 1 only has 22. What the fuck? Like, how is Mizi the actual main character and I barely heard shit about her going in? We've almost got a perfectly healthy lesbian relationship with Mizi and Sua, and somehow they're completely overshadowed. And why did nobody warn me of how fucked up Ivan and Till's relationship is? Yeah, toxic ships are popular, I get it, but damn, can't you just choose happiness for once? Actually, you can't really choose happiness with Alien Stage. Anyway, and honestly, I doubt Ivan Till being more popular is just about the drama. It really feels like misogyny is a huge part of why Mizi and Sua isn't as popular. And don't even get me started on Huna and Luca, because holy shit, the hate Huna gets is insane. Is it her skin color? Her limited screen time? Or is it because she has masculine mannerisms but is in love with a dude? Or maybe people are mad because she's not a dude at all. Because why the fuck would a femboy twink like Luca like a girl, right? Twink on. Move on. Some of y'all seriously need to check your prejudices, because what the actual fuck? But that one Luca Huna Hyunwoo art though, yeah, that shit goes hard. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh right, Till doesn't even reciprocate Ivan's feelings. They're not a thing. So why the fuck? Make it make sense, please. Ivan's love language is literally beating the shit out of Till. Be so for real, bro. So yeah, a lot of y'all are misogynistic as hell for hating on Huna and completely overshadowing Mizi and Sua. When I was first writing this script, I really wish there were more interactions between the two pairs other than just between the pairs. And so I dug deep and I found stuff and more stuff. And this fucking script kept getting longer and longer. You have to be very dedicated to Alien Stage to find the things that I did for this video, translated in English by the way, and I wanna die. Oh my god. Anyway, the memes coming out of this series are so fucking funny. One of my favorites is people treating Alien Stage like it's a K-pop group. Someone asks, what's your favorite K-pop group? And you answer Alien Stage. Or like, who's your bias? And you say Mizi from Alien Stage. And it always cracks me up. Also, the Twink Gun meme, it comes from round 6, I think. No, round 7, where it was Luca versus Till. The song was basically called Blink Gun, but because it kind of sounds like Twink, and you know, because the two people singing that song kind of look like twinks, people are memeing it out. Instead of Blink Gun, Japan, it's Twink Gun, because it kind of sounds similar, and it's so fucking funny. I love it. But yeah, Alien Stage really brought the K-pop and the anime community together. If you're only into K-pop, you probably wouldn't have stumbled onto it that easily, but if you're into anime, you'd fall into it way faster, is what I believe. Since anime outside of Japan have started to get a lot more attention, you know. Like, I genuinely thought I was getting into a Korean anime and suddenly realized, wait, is this a K-pop group? Like, what the fuck is happening? Also, you'll need to check out the other Alien Stage songs. Well, they're not necessary for you to understand the plot, but I strongly recommend them because they're just good songs. If you like the songs from the main MVs, you'll love the others too. They literally have a whole YouTube channel dedicated just for Alien Stage songs. You should go listen to them. My current favorite right now is Mirror by Mizi. The vocals are great, but the lyrics really show how much Mizi sees herself as the villain, and I just wanna hug her. And yeah, as I consumed more Alien Stage every day, this damn script kept getting longer and longer. Unlike a normal anime where you just watch the episodes and be done with it, Alien Stage makes you work to get more content. And as much as I hated how long this script was starting to get, I really enjoyed it. Like, I didn't even know that Ivan considered Sua as like a sister to him, which you have to dig really deep to find that information, you know. And I can't imagine it being like such a cute interaction between the two, even though Sua probably hates him. Anyway, I'm so happy I finally finished the script and finally share this video with you guys. I know I don't get a lot of views, but if you have opinions or disagree with me, drop them in the comments. I barely get comments too, which is embarrassing to admit, and honestly, I might not even get any this time, but fuck it. I'm trying to encourage you all to talk anyway. I know I didn't talk about the spread this time around, but I mean, this script was already getting really long. Why would I talk about the spread? In short, I'm proud of how the spread turned out. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And that's it for me, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye bye!